Hello everyone, welcome to Together with Ben Advanced Java Learning Series 2. In this video, we are going to talk about array lists from Collections Framework, and we are investigating the array list, implementing the list interface. ArrayList is a dynamic, resizable, linear structure located in the java.utils package. It allows duplicate elements and maintains the insertion order. Elements can be accessed randomly. Like I said, ArrayList implements list interface, just like linked lists and other classes we'll be talking about in the following videos. And it is non-synchronized. ArrayList uses index base 0, just like the arrays. Add or remove elements can be time-consuming due to frameshift movement. I'll explain that just in a bit. And use ArrayList if the size is unknown, so it can grow or shrink. And when you want to add or remove element at the end. Let's go and check out the two array lists we have. One is non-generic and one is generic type. And at step 4, basically why we should use generics. For the type safety, reduce runtime problems, increase reusability, and we don't need typecasting. I'll show you an example of how it looks like. Alright, let's start with adding non-generic method, which is this one. What are some things I can add in my list? Can I add a boolean? Can I add a decimal? Can I add a text string? But why do I say it's error prone? It's likely that this program will not compile correctly if you use non-generic array list. Okay, so you should not use. Let me show you an example. Say I don't have access to what's added to the list, but I'm assuming it should be, according to the requirement, it should be in type integer. And then I'm trying to access it now. Let's get the boolean type. Let's go by index. Incompatible types. Required int, found object, boolean. How about 4.2, which is index 1? We may have a solution, casting. But again, it is not the best way to go. So no need typecasting if you use a generic array list. Let's go to generic array list and let's add a couple elements here. As you can see, this array list is a type string, so we can only add text message here. Let's put some vehicle types, sedan, minivan, and then one more, SUV. Actually, just to show you, we can also add a null value. Going forward, let's try to print them out, just like we did here. Let's also store them. We know this is a type of string. Can I access my list at index 0? Yes. And if I want to print it out, let's execute. Sedan was the first element, right? Let's print all the elements. As you can see, we have sedan, minivan, SUV, and then null value. Let's try to remove one of the elements. Let's remove SUV. We can also remove it by the index. So this sedan is 0, minivan is 1, SUV is 2. These are same output if you use this method by index or by the element itself. And let's print out the list again. See if SUV is removed. Or can we remove null value by the index 0, 1, 2, and 3? So if you do this, you'll get the same output. Let's print out my list again. Alright, we got sedan and minivan. Let's check out set and get methods. But just at this time, I want to tell you what I meant by frameshift movement. For example, say you have a bunch of numbers, and then if you remove this number in the middle, the entire frame shifted to the left. And say if you want to add a value between 4 and 6, the entire frame moved to the right. So this is not really the best way to go. There are other classes with the better implementations we'll be learning. But this is what I meant by frameshift movement. Alright? So let's continue with the set and get method. So we have only sedan and minivan right now. This is index 0 and index 1. And we don't have anything at index 2. So let's add something to index 2. Can we do that? At index 2, and I want to add SUV. Let's print out the list. We got an exception. This shows that at the time we removed SUV and null, ArrayList got shrinked, gotten smaller in size. For that matter, we can do only set first and second value. Or we could add an element, then change. But right now, let's just change minivan to SUV. Let's execute. The minivan is no longer there. SUV take place. So we only add the index number and then put whatever we want to add there. But this could be the thing. This should match with the type you have here at line 16. It has to be type string. If it was integer, you had to put an integer here. And lastly, get method. There are more methods here that you can see, but let's print out one of the, for example, get first element. How do we get the first element? Dot get. And then first element is index based, so it's 0. Let's execute. It's set in. How about the second element? It's going to be index 1. Let's execute. SUV. And I want to change the sedan to minivan. So how do I do that? So I'm just going to go my list. That's set. Sedan was the first one. And then I want to make it a minivan. Let's print out our list. Lastly, minivan and SUV. But since the code is top to bottom, the first element shows sedan here, but shows minivan here. Again, lastly, what I want to tell you, since this is an array list and it implements list interface, we might as well write it like this. So let me make another one right here. So this is my list 3. So this is my list 4. And then I initialize it with ArrayList, something you can also do. And then what did we do in this video? We talked about why we shouldn't be using non-generic array list, why it's error prone, and why we should use generic array list, and we applied add method, remove method. There are a lot of methods that you can try, and then we also see a different way to initialize an array list object by list interface. I hope this is helpful. Thanks for watching. Until next time.